Welcome back to another exciting episode of This is Talking Sci-Fi, filmed on location in my secret Sean's garage connected to my house.
Which is amazing.
You think so?
Yeah, absolutely.
Once again, I'm Sci-Fi Sean, and this is...
Just Randee.
And we are going to talk about a few things in this episode, which will all include mostly The Mandalorian.
Woohoo! Welcome to Talking Sci-Fi. And your host and starring Sci-Fi Sean and Just Randee.
I finally finished both seasons of Mandalorian.
3 years late.
3 years late, dollar short. You guys know I like all science fiction. I'm not a big Star Wars fan. And I think that the newer movies have pushed me away from being a Star Wars fan because I'm an originalist. I like the 1970s versions of Star Wars with, the original cast, Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Princess Leia.
At last! Where have you been?
And
You do know they were all in the
I do know that, but
sequel trilogies.
I'm not a CGI guy.
I know you are.
I'm a model guy where you have to make the models and all that, and I'm old as dirt, so that's why I like that. So it took me a while to even get onto The Mandalorian. I do not have internet service at my house, so I just can't pop it on and go. Yeah, I could watch it on my little cell phone, like, hey, yeah, or my computer, whoa, but I have a big giant screen in my house. I want to watch stuff on the big screen.
Yeah.
That's why I just bypass that whole situation. So I have sinister friends out there in the world that have made me copies on thumb drives. I do have that technology. I have a smart TV with no internet. Imagine that. My God, I can't believe Sean is this science fiction guy and doesn't have any internet service.
It's crazy. I don't know
Don't
how you
hate
live.
on me. Don't hate on me.
I don't know how you live.
It is. You know how I live? Great, because I don't have all this other bull crap coming at me. So I'm watching my old episodes of Star Trek and whatnot, and my old movies of Star Wars. To be completely honest with you, and this is going to not shock you at all, because I've already told you, the last episode of Star Wars, was it The Rise of Skywalker?
Yeah.
Have not seen it. I cannot make through 30 minutes of that movie because it is so not Star Wars to me. Do you agree with that?
No!
You hear the train coming?
I do.
It's coming down the track.
It's coming down the
It's
track.
coming to run over me because all these Star Wars people are hating on me right now.
Oh, believe me, there's a lot of people that don't like it.
But that's why you're going to hear motorcycles and stuff every once in a while because we're literally in my garage.
I hope our buddy in the white Toyota comes by.
Have you been hearing him come by lately? I want to strangle that kid.
It's so loud.
Oh my God. I want to go out and just talk to him like, dude, we're trying to sleep in here.
But then that makes you Karen.
It does make me a Karen, doesn't
You're getting
it?
old.
It is. Is that what it is? Karen is old? I can't believe that. Anyway, back on subject, stay on target. Stay on target. I love The Mandalorian. It was more like the episodes
4, 5, and
4,
6.
5, and 6. I know. A New Hope.
What's the next one?
Empire Strikes
All
Back.
right, okay.
Revenge of the Jedi.
Return.
It'll always be Revenge to
I
me.
know.
That's what it originally was.
I know it.
And I love those movies. Revenge, yeah. Now, the first 3 movies, Phantom Menace, what was the second
Attack
one?
of the Clones.
Attack of the Clones.
Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith. I like Revenge of the Sith. It kind of had that feel, when they make Anakin finally turns into Darth Vader and kills all those little kids. That wasn't Star Wars to me either, but when he put the mask on and then at the end he's standing there with Grand Moff talking. I thought that was great on the Death Star. They're building the Death Star. So when they did The Mandalorian, I was very skeptical. I was seeing the snippets on Facebook. This is season 1. And I'm like, oh my God, they're going to butcher it like the newer ones, and it's going to be terrible. Me personally, Randee he sleeps with these discs wrapped around it, or his thumb drive, or whatever media you look at. He goes to sleep with the damn movies on. I know he
What?
He tells me, Ashley. He tells me what's going on there.
What the hell are you talking about?
Nothing.
You get me in trouble.
Yeah, you are going to get in trouble. He tells me everything, Ashley. We'll talk later. But I finally broke down after Randee pressured me to watch the first season of The Mandalorian, and I did, and I fell in love with it.
I felt like it felt like the original.
It felt like the original series. And John, how do you pronounce his last name?
Finioli.
The guy that plays Happy in the Iron Man movies. He did a fantastic job because that man could take an idea and build it into an entire universe, just like he did Marvel. That was all him. The movie Elf, and so many other movies I could just sit here and name that he had parts of helping create. He evidently is a true originalist Star Wars fan because he nailed it. When they brought in IG Robot, the bounty hunter robot, which was in the first episode, or A New Hope, when Vader was getting all the bounty hunters together.
Yeah, that's Empire Strikes Back.
Empire Strikes Back, sorry. Is that where Bosk is, the lizard guy's standing there and they're going to go out? Okay, you're right. That's where they run into Boba Fett, which we'll get into in a later episode. So this whole thing has the feel of it. You know, we've heard about the Mandalorians. We had an idea about them. Now we know what the whole true culture of them are just from the first season.
Right.
And I love the idea of them coming up and getting the little key fobs or the tracking devices, and they're all looking for them. And they're short episodes. I think 30 to 40 minutes is the longest they run. Yep. And there's so much they do without making it look like it was all crammed together.
Right, yeah, I agree.
It was a great storyline. They run into some great characters. There's a lot of hat tipping, if you will, to the Star Wars world.
Yep.
And it is Star Wars. I have hardcore friends. Paul, I know you're listening because you watch and listen too. He's hardcore. He even likes the show. So he's my biggest sci-fi skeptic. He's bigger than a skeptic than I am. So it had a great feel. And they brought in, everybody called it Baby Yoda, which it was not, because we find out through the season that this time frame of The Mandalorian takes place after Return of the Jedi. Is that about correct to say?
Yeah, I thought you were going to call it Revenge of the Jedi.
It is Revenge of the Jedi. So it's marvelous. First season floored me. I thought it was very well filmed. The whole stormtroopers showing up, and there's an evil, sinister plot to get the Baby Yoda. It's cute. It's drawing in the female and some guys to the kid, the girly, the chick part of the film, because everybody loves a little cuddly little Yoda looking gremlin looking thing, you know.
Right.
And he made the movie because it's a mystery, and that's what I like about it. It's an unfolding mystery because, you know, what is this thing? Where does he fit into?
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
You got anything else you want to add to that?
Yeah, I do. I want to say that what I liked about it so much was bringing in the characters like the Jawas and the Sand People. That gave it that authentic feel because we were seeing the characters that we grew up watching.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And of course, Apollo Creed.
Yeah, Apollo Creed. I did not like his character at
first,
but then it grew on me.
He turned out to be an all right kind of guy.
An all right kind of guy. We'll get into that because we're going to talk about second season on our next episode. So, yes, the Jawas were great because I've always been a big Jawa fan. When Mando was climbing up the side of the crawler, the Jawa crawler, and they were coming out of the windows,
oh my goodness, that
throwing
was amazing.
crap at him, and he's like, "Oh, this guy has such a struggle because he can't take his mask off." That's the whole thing. You hear the bells in the background.
Church.
Evidently, the Catholic Church around the corner agrees with our thumbs up on season 1 of The Mandalorian.
Now, real quick, he can't take his mask off because he's been out of the loop and away from Mandalorians because their world was taken over.
Right.
Okay, so he was in like a cult that required that.
Keep it hidden.
Right, but other Mandalorians, as we'll see in episode 2, they take their helmets off.
They'll take their helmets off.
And when he sees them take the helmets off, he's kind of freaking out.
Yeah.
And it's hard for him to take his helmet off.
Yep.
So the few times that he does take his helmet off, that takes a lot.
Just to eat, he can't do it in front of human beings, living creatures, which that comes to be bare in season 2, I believe. So.
Oh, he has to do it, yeah.
And then a character shows up towards the end of season 1 called Grand Moff Gideon. I can't think of what the actor's name is. Put it right here. But he plays the most sinister character I've ever seen in Star Wars. That guy, he don't take crap.
He doesn't. Right.
And he has the dark saber, I guess that's what they call that, which is basically a sword that looks like a lightsaber, but I don't think it's a true laser. It's
got a crystal and everything.
Does it have a crystal?
But it was created for Mandalore.
Right.
If you control that, you control Mandalore.
Right. So they got that in the raid when they were destroying the Mandalore homeworld and all that.
Well, right? Darth Maul, and I mean, there's a lot of hidden stuff there that we don't really know how Gideon got it, but he has it.
Right.
So
Gideon is this badass Grand Moff. You know, we remember Grand Moff talking, which I spoke about earlier, was over the Death Star, and then of course he gets blown up the Death Star. But we didn't see his full potential of being a complete jerk. Now with Gideon, Grand Moff Gideon, this guy's a complete a-hole.
It is. So you didn't watch Rogue One?
Yeah, I watched Rogue One.
Okay, so I felt like they did a good job of making him an asshole.
Oh, absolutely, I agree with this, but you have to admit, Gideon takes it up 5 notches.
Oh yeah, I agree.
An ass.
Yeah.
So you know.
Yep.
So I really loved it because it again goes into a lot of the lore, and that he runs into, what is the wrestler chick's name that's in the show, the fighter girl that Mando runs up with. Then she's all through second season.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, you guys know who I'm talking about. Put her name and her picture right here.
Cara.
Yeah, whatever. Well, she was. She had people on Alderaan. She was from Alderaan, and they mentioned that constantly through both series.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, Alderaan. My sister lived on Alderaan. Not anymore, because we blew it up. And in the second season, they really get into it. We'll talk about that later, because she actually runs into a guy that was on the Death Star that blew the damn thing up, you know. So, but anyway, I'm going to rate season 1 of The Mandalorian. I'm going to give it, out of 10 stars, I'm going to give it a 8.5.
Oh, that's pretty good for you.
For Star Wars.
Yeah.
It is pretty good for me.
You know me, it's a 10.
It's a 10.
Oh,
because you like Star Wars more than I do.
Man, it is so fantastic.
But the best thing about what Mandalorian has done to me is it's making me a Star Wars fan again.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I walked away from that franchise. I'm just like, I've had enough of baby Anakin riding around in a pod racer. I'm done with Kylo Ren throwing his temper. I didn't like the movies after the first original ones that came out.
Right. Okay.
3, 4, 5, 6.
Well, 1, 2, and 3 was George Lucas.
See, and that's why I told you, the main reason I don't like Star Wars is they make you do freaking math to figure the crap out. You have to be a mathematician, like, well, there's 3, 4, and 5, but you subtract 1, 2, and 3, and then add 6, 7, 8, and then you have The Mandalorian, and Rogue One, and Solo, and don't forget the Clone Wars.
I am impressed that you remembered all of that on the fly.
I'm not a dumbass.
I understand that, but you work hard at hating Star Wars.
I don't hate Star Wars, and I don't work hard. It comes natural. Okay. I am good friends with people that are in the 501st out of Tampa, and they're coming to SYFY Bartow February the 20th. Just a few short Saturdays away, so keep an eye on that. Find it on Facebook. Check it out.
I bet you have Star Trek playing behind us, don't you?
Yeah,
that's the type of person you are.
Yes, it's my man cave. I'm going to play what I want to play. You know.
Yeah.
So anyway, loved it. Mandalorian. I want more. I watched second season, which we're going to get into in our next podcast. It only drew me in more. Even Lori, my wife Lori, which has been on the show a couple of times. She's vigilantly working on the last minute details of SYFY Bartow as we speak in our living room. But she got drawn into it. She's like, "Oh, we're gonna watch The Mandalorian tonight." I'm like, "Yes." Right. So Laura and I have very stressful jobs. She's a management type person. I'm a management type person. And we come home and we eat dinner and we relax. We go get in our lounge chairs in my Star Trek room and put on this Star Wars crap, and my room's like going, no, it's all right with it because I have a big screen in there. So we watch Mandalorian. So we'll end up falling asleep on some of the episodes, because we're tired, not because it's boring. Because Mandalorian is not boring.
Right? Yeah, I agree.
There has been some slower episodes, but overall, I've been impressed by everything. Yeah. So we'll wake up, go to the next day, and start that episode over and watch the whole thing. So technically, we're watching 1.5 times because we get about halfway through. So, but yes, I love it. It's great. It's fantastic. Like I said, I give it an 8.5, and I look forward to the 3rd season. So with that, we're going to wrap it up. That is episode 1 of what we're going to call a 2-part episode that's coming up, and on the Mandalorian season 1. You guys be cool, and don't forget Sci-Fi Bartow is coming up, and make sure it is a mask kind of required situation of social distancing. There's going to be a lot of people there, and we need to keep people safe and to the best we can. Oh, one more thing. If you're going to do this episode, I need to put this hat on real quick. This weekend is Super Bowl.
That's right.
And we don't talk about sports a lot on our show, but our Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to be in the Super Bowl. First time this has ever happened. They're the winning team of the Super Bowl, or one of the players in the Super Bowl is going to be at home field advantage. They're going to be, because they're doing the Super Bowl in Tampa.
Right.
So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to be playing on their home field. And I know you're probably going to be for the other team, right? Who are they?
Hell no, I ain't. The Chiefs.
The Chiefs?
Yeah.
Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh, no, I'm ready.
Never heard of them. I don't know if they're a good football team or not. I think they did win a Super Bowl or something, didn't they?
Last year.
They won last year. So they're playing last year's champion of the Super Bowl. See, this is how it is, people, with Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan.
Right.
When they're done playing, I don't watch football anymore.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I've not watched a Super Bowl since the last time the Tampa Bay Buccaneers was in it, which is almost 20 years ago. Did you know that?
Yeah.
20 years
That's
ago.
crazy, right?
And they won against the Raiders, the Oakland Raiders.
Yeah.
And so we have Tom Brady, which has been a great asset to Tampa Bay, but he's not the main guy. The whole team is kind of pulled together.
They have.
Not boring you about football, but fandom is fandom, and that's what our show is about, right? So go Bucks! You're going to kick butt. Tom Brady, yes. Mandalorian, yes. Go Mandalorian. Mando, we love him. We'll see you next time on This is Talking Sci-Fi with Sci-Fi Sean and
Just Randee.
Go Bucks!